So today I want to talk about Dispatch, the game that was sponsored by Critical Role. It's gone viral recently and for good reason. It's amazing and I wanted to rant about how great it is. But unfortunately, this is a channel about things that aren't so great, and something not so great happened today, and that thing is that Ned Fulmer has released a new apology video. Now, if you have no idea who Ned Fulmer is, he was once a member of the Try Guys. They're a massive YouTube channel with millions of subscribers. Ned was part of the core cast, and a big part of his brand and the Try Guys brand in general was his relationship with his wife, Ariel. A lot of their most popular videos is about their journey as parents, and so it was really awkward when this guy, famous for being the wife guy, the dad guy, turned out to be a cheating guy. He cheated on his wife with an employee at his own company. Yeah. This was a massive public scandal, a nightmare for everyone involved, and while it did die down after a couple of years, it got worse after Ned returned with his wife by his side. The pair made a podcast episode together on his new Rock Bottom podcast. This would be the pilot episode, the launching pad for Ned Fulmer's resurrected career, and everybody hated it.
Everything changed for me as well. I'm like, oh no. I've been hurting this person that I love this whole time.
You didn't realize until then?
His wife was cooking him the entire episode, and he just seemed to not get it. There's nothing that frustrates people as much as a stone wall, and Ned just categorically misunderstanding why people hate him so much, why his wife was so hurt by this. It was frustrating to watch. And so everyone thought that after this second blow up that only happened a couple months ago, people thought that Ned would finally disappear forever. Yeah, that's not what happened. Not only did the Rock Bottom podcast continue, but he also resurrected his own personal YouTube channel and has been posting videos there as well. And I think there's a lot of tea to get into. Bot views, failed re-apologies, awkward dating shows. It's a bit. Not enough for a critical failure episode, but given how much drama is happening right now, I wouldn't have time for the story anyway. I decided to toss on a crispy commentary, though, just to give you guys a little bit of extra tea. You know how much I love you, so without further ado, guys, let's get started. Okay, so Ned Fulmer's Rock Bottom podcast. How's that going? It's going badly. And I'm not just saying that because I don't like Ned Fulmer, okay? I'm approaching this from the objective lens of, hey, is this a sustainable, growing business, or are we beating a dead horse here? And look, Ned's beating a dead horse. This podcast is dead in the water.
You're like beating a dead horse.
Yeah, like blasting a fucking wet crap all over it before you throw it off a cliff.
And then running it over with a Panzer tank.
Yeah, before you set it on fire and run it through the fucking wood chipper.
I want to make it clear that if you get these kind of viewership on your YouTube channel, that's amazing. I think having any kind of audience is impressive, but Ned wants to be a business owner. He wants this to be sustainable. He wants this to be a career. And I'm sorry, these just aren't career numbers. He's had some cool guests on, like freaking Samurai Jack. That's awesome. But the problem is that Samurai Jack in this episode is kind of carrying the whole episode. Ned himself is just not a strong podcast host. He's a complete blank slate. Ned, though, for some reason, he just needs to be on camera. His voice is there, even if he's not offering any sort of meaningful commentary to the episode. It's a rough and awkward listen. Not nearly as bad as the episode with, the ex-wife who he cheated on, but still pretty bad. And the viewership has reflected that. I do want to note, though, one more interesting detail. If you go down the comments, you will notice that there's one guy there that is constantly, obsessively defending Ned Fulmer at every turn. And people have been suspicious that this one guy is actually a bot. I looked through all their comments, and yeah, it's definitely bot-like behavior. They copy-paste a lot of responses and often respond incredibly quickly to anyone commenting negative things on the video. And that is suspicious, but it doesn't necessarily mean that Ned bought a robot to be his personal defender. It could just be someone else's bot. It could just be a random troll. There are many possibilities here, and I don't know if there's enough information here to say with definitive proof that Ned Fulmer has a bot defending him in the comments, but I will say that even though I don't know who owns it, objectively speaking, Ned Fulmer does have a person or bot defending him obsessively in the comments, and I think that's really funny. Editing Crispy here. I just want to note that there's one other weird business thing with this new channel for Rock Bottom, and that is it's actually an old channel. It's a channel that used to host his podcast with Ariel where they talked about their family, which given his whole controversy is something. But not only is it incredibly insensitive, but it's probably one of the worst moves he possibly could have done from a business standpoint. You see, on YouTube, subscribers that don't watch your videos are actually worse than having no subscribers at all. It's actually more beneficial to start from a brand new channel than to buy an existing one, because all those people on the existing channel are very unlikely to watch your content, and that is going to kill it in the algorithm. But for some reason, he just wanted the optics of having a somewhat successful channel, and I guess couldn't handle the humiliation of starting over, because I really don't know why he'd do this. From a business standpoint, it makes no sense. This channel is literally destined to be dead on arrival just because of this choice. So, I mean, man, even just a robot knew this. Ned, come on! This video is sponsored by Run from the Dark, a folk horror role-playing game available for pre-order now on Kickstarter. In this RPG, the darkness itself is out to kill you. You are in a bleak world, desperately trying to reconnect the few pieces of civilization left, facing off against horrifying monsters, which there are plenty of. The book comes with 40 unique monsters, pre-made starter adventures, over 100 NPCs for your GM to use, and even some real-life survival tips, since I know most of you guys don't go outside and touch grass. This game was developed by Will R.D., who is already an award-winning tabletop creator. This guy has sold 15,000 copies of his game to date, but this is his first original project, and dang, does it look good. If you guys are interested in Run from the Dark, then you can head down to the description down below or to the pinned comment where you will find the Kickstarter. Thank you so much to Run from the Dark for sponsoring today's episode. As always, supporting our sponsors does support us. Without further ado, we have a commentary to finish. In any case, though, Rock Bottom is not the only thing that Ned has going for him. He also has his personal channel named Ned Fulmer. Very creative, I know. Currently, this personal channel has 3 main videos besides the channel intro and the apology video, which we'll talk about, don't worry. Now, one of these videos is by far the worst of the bunch. I'm sure you've heard it before because the idea of it is just horrifying, and that is, of course, the Ned Fulmer dating show.
Bachelorette is going to blind date 5 single guys looking for love.
Oh my god, of all the things he could have done, a Cut.com style blind dating show is wild. That's wild. The premise of the show is that this woman is behind a screen dating 6 guys, but actually, there's only 5 guys. One of them is secretly ChatGPT. Yeah, that's right. Not only is Ned Fulmer the host of this god-awful dating show, but it also involves AI, which everybody loves. Yeah! Now, besides the concept being blatantly horrible, the production itself is kind of cheap. Like, Cut.com also does these very blank backgrounds, but their audio is far more crisp. And obviously, stuff like The Cut or Jubilee, they're going to have better production value because they're whole companies. Ned's just one guy with a small team. But still, if you're gonna mimic their style, doing it in this cheap of a way is gonna make your whole production seem like such an obvious knockoff. And on top of that, the guys themselves that this woman is talking to, they're playing up the psycho guy trope just way too much. Like, they're trying so hard to be weird.
Kind of like a real-life Aladdin, international playboy, always traveling the world, surrounded by beautiful women, just...
I'm hearing some red flags. I don't know.
I am going to kill...
the
I am going to
but,
end my own life. Like, look, all of these online YouTube blind dating shows, they all have this cringe problem. I mean, people were reacting to them obsessively for years because of how cringy it was. But here, it's like these guys are really putting their all into being cringy, and for some reason, it just makes the show particularly unwatchable. They're trying too hard. I don't know how else to say it. But I think the worst part of the whole show is Ned Fulmer himself, because... look, I've never watched a dating show where the host is just awkwardly third-wheeling the whole time. Like, the whole time this woman is standing behind the cheap little curtain between her and the guys, Ned Fulmer is standing next to her, just quietly reacting to everything that happens. And I'm just like, dude, go away. You don't need to be here. I mean, could you imagine if you're watching The Bachelorette and the host is just like chilling next to the girl and the guy on the side, like while they're trying to have their date? It's so freaking awkward to watch, dude. Get out of the frame. Even cut.com, like, they don't even have a host. They just put the people doing the dates on the screen and call it a day. Why is Ned here? He's not offering anything meaningful to the episode besides adding extra awkwardness. And it's not awkwardness that makes the show more charming. It's awkwardness that makes the show more awkward. God, go away. And of course, I mean, I don't want to leave this merely implied, but the idea of Ned Fulmer, you know, the dude famous for cheating on his wife, the idea of that guy running a dating show is... well, it's obviously a great idea. I mean, come on. You also have two other videos, one of them being Ned just going into like a fighter jet, and the other one being Ned visiting a bunch of restaurants in LA to try noodles from many different countries around the world. These videos are significantly better than the dating show. They're not great by any means. They both have the same problem of Ned's the host. He's not like the worst host of all time or anything like that, but he's just not a great host. It's like what Ariel said. He's just not interesting enough.
What?
I don't know. I'm just. You think you're interesting enough?
No.
He's fine. Like, that's how I describe his hosting skills. Fine. And frankly, in this crowded internet market, fine is just not good enough. Every second I watch these videos, I can't help but think that someone else would be doing them better. Again, these are better produced and better put together, and they have a better concept than the AI dating show, but that doesn't mean they're great. Though, I do want to note here at the end, little thing. During the noodle episode, this guy sings the praises of pancit, which is a Filipino noodle dish. But he says it like this.
Pancit is the Filipino celebration noodle.
Pancit. Pancit. Not pancit. Dude, it's not hard to pronounce. Like, if you're gonna do this blatant Pinoy baiting, you can at least pronounce our crap right. Come on, man, please. Now, just like with that weird bot defending Ned on Rock Bottom, there's one weird thing about his personal channel I also want to point out, and that is that this guy gets a lot of views, like millions of views. Sometimes the Try Guys don't break that number. So how is Ned doing it so consistently? And the answer is, he's buying the views. I'll say he's buying the views. It's not a conspiracy. He has all the signs of an inflated view count. The engagement on the video is incredibly low. The amount of comments is also incredibly low. Like, these are the kind of comments I get on videos with tens of thousands of views, not over 1 million views. I find it incredibly suspicious. It is basically impossible that this view number is not inflated. Now, I will say, this is normal on YouTube. I know that sounds crazy because buying views seems like this black market behind the scenes thing, but it's not. It's actually a feature that YouTube advertises on their platform. For example, I'm friends with Fall Cosplay from Deerstalker Pictures. They make advertisements for mobile games like, I don't know, Genshin Impact, and the developers of Genshin will use those videos as advertising. This naturally inflates the view counts of those videos. This is a perfectly normal, legitimate business thing, but that situation is very different from what Ned is doing. For starters, whatever service Ned is using, he's clearly inflating the view count like way beyond the norm. Ned's going up to 1 million plus. That's wild. And it's also wildly impractical. Like, Genshin is using those videos as advertising for the mobile game for a product. Ned's trying to advertise his YouTube channel, and that just generally doesn't work. I don't really think he's meaning for this to be a successful way to get eyes on his YouTube brand. I think he's trying to build the illusion that his channel is very successful. He's getting millions of views. But of course, I mean, if you actually go and look at the engagement, those views are most definitively inflated. Again, I don't really know his motivation. I don't even really know his method. It's all speculation. But the fact of the matter is, these are objectively speaking inflated views. Ned's not actually getting the viewership that he is posting on his channel. And I think that is really weird. But, of course, those are his mainline videos. You're here for responding to the backlash. Okay. the apology video, responding to the backlash. This is one of the worst apology videos ever made, and probably the worst one released this year. I mean, he opens up the video by saying, "You've already heard Ariel's story, but now it's time for you to hear my story."
That episode with Ariel was mostly about her story, and now in this video, I'll tell a little bit more of mine.
And Ned, I really don't know how to tell you this, but the reason why you got so much backlash is because no one wants to hear your story, dude. People don't like you. Like, come on. Like, it's so tone deaf because Ned's implying that him and Ariel are equals in this situation. Like, no, Ned, Ariel was the victim of something you did to her. Frankly, your side of the story matters a hell of a lot less, hence why nobody freaking asked for it. But he gives his side of the story anyway, and his side of the story is all of the personal therapy stuff that he did with Ariel behind the scenes. Like, he goes in depth on all the therapy practices used, which, by the way, include taking a lie detector test with her, which I'm not going to argue with an actual psychologist if they think a lie detector is actually useful, but I will say those things are not admissible in court for a damn good reason. Besides that, though, I do think there is a much bigger issue here, and that is he's exposing a lot of personal therapy stuff about him and Ariel just on the internet.
So, from there, Ariel prepared an impact letter that described...
I'm assuming he has her permission to do this, because if he doesn't have her permission to do this, this is just horrifying, dude. What are you doing? I mean, he's not exposing anything, like, deeply intimate. Nothing here would be considered uncomfortable, at least to me, but I can understand why, for example, Ariel, you know, his wife, who went through all this with him, I can understand why she would be very uncomfortable with this information just being public for us all to hear. Besides going over all this therapy stuff, he also non-stop passive-aggressively complains about how people take him out of context. Now, you've only heard 15-second clips on TikTok, and like,
I understand that if you, a viewer, is watching this for the first time or just sees this 15-second clip on TikTok, you don't understand everything that has led us to this point.
Bro, I'm gonna tell you this right now. I listened to the whole podcast. Those 15-second clips make you look better, not worse. Look, when you watch the clips, you just hear Ned say stupid stuff. But if you watch the whole episode, Ariel is pouring her heart out over how much this event hurt her, how much it left deep, lasting scars. And after that, Ned then says stupid stuff that people clip to put on TikTok. Obviously, just hearing the stupid stuff makes him sound stupid, but hearing the whole thing makes him sound completely heartless, dude. You should be grateful people are clipping you out of context. The context makes you look like a damn monster who doesn't care about his ex-wife in any way. Come on, dude.
I practice empathy and listening and boundaries with Ariel.
I'm sorry, him talking about empathy like it's this alien thing, like, I'm not an empathetic person either, man, but Jesus, try a little harder. It is also funny that he tries to pitch this idea that Ariel is still his partner, she's still his business partner, she's an investor in the channel, she wants it to succeed, and honestly, all that could be true. Like, I fully believe that Ariel has some money invested in the channel, but Ned pretending like that's some huge deal that changes everything is just, it's not the case, man. Like, Ariel could be still in love with him for all I care, but I still hate Ned Fulmer, and so does the rest of the internet. People don't like cheaters, and most importantly, people don't like stone walls. It's why I said earlier, when you're watching a guy who seemingly just doesn't get it, it frustrates the hell out of you. Like, look, people are obviously mad about his cheating, but they're also mad that he keeps on trying to come back to the internet as an online content creator. Like, that's what frustrates people so much. They just want him to go away regardless of what he did. It's particularly annoying because it's not like Ned is some uneducated 100,000 subscriber YouTuber. The guy's not Just a Robot, for example. Like, I know why Just a Robot continues to try doing YouTube, because what else is he supposed to do? He's some loser incel. Ned Fulmer, though, I mean, he's an affluent guy who I assume has a good chunk of money considering, you know, he was part of the Try Guys. Like, a lot of people like to imagine Ned is living broke in some tiny divorce apartment, but I'm sorry, guys. I just don't think that's true. Like, I would love if that were the case, but he was part of the Try Guys. They were bringing in millions in ad revenue. He had a good chunk of that. As long as he was even somewhat frugal with his money, he's probably doing just fine. But if anything, that makes it more frustrating to me. Like, dude, you have a nest egg. You could start over. You could afford it. A lot of people don't have the opportunity. Why do you keep banging your head against the wall trying to make this work? Again, it's just so frustrating regardless of what he did to Ariel. And if you take what he did to Ariel into account, it makes him seem like an idiot and like a villain. Just not a good combination. He wants the internet to accept him so badly. He has worked so hard to build this illusion of success, whether it's with bot views or with big guests on his podcast or what have you, but it's just not gonna work, man. When you do this job, you do this job by the mercy of your audience. If you don't have an audience that likes you, your job's done. Ned doesn't have that audience, and no matter how much money he pours into his channel, he never will again. Sorry, man. But in any case, that's this mini episode of Crispy Commentary. I hope you guys enjoyed this return to Ned Fulmer. Do not worry, we will be returning to tabletop content this Friday with a new episode of Critical Failure. We've got an old favorite coming back. It's gonna be fun. But if you want to see more of our TTRPG content, then you might want to check out our second channel, Crispy's Academy. We've been doing coverage of Critical Role Campaign 4. It's linked up in the cards. But before you go, you might want to let me know if you were loyal to the tavern by leaving the comment truly rock bottom. So let me know you made it all the way to the end of the video. Hey, by the way, you should also leave a like and subscribe to Crispy's Tavern so you don't miss any of our content when it comes out. And finally, if you want to support us directly, then head over to our Patreon or buy our merch. It's stuff like that that makes these videos possible. In essence, like, comment, subscribe, support. I will see you all next time. Farewell. Sonar from Dispatch. What the fuck? What is happening? Why is there piano music playing in my living room? Why did my TV suddenly start playing piano music? Am I haunted? Am I